All right.
Recording has started.
I love it. The echo recording has started. All right. Well, hello and happy new year. Officially, we are already in the eighth day of 2024. I actually am not exactly sure where the first full week has gone, to be honest with you. Our son is officially back in school after a really, really long winter break. So it seemed almost 2.5 weeks. But thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you are catching this live or on the replay, we are happy that you are joining us because we have some extra special guests that are going to be joining us here in a little bit. And trust me when I say you are going to want to grab a pen and paper and just get ready to soak up everything it is that they're going to have to share with you. And so, for those of you who don't know us, my name is Holly Highfield. My husband Brian and I are coming to you live from Sarasota, Florida, which is where we currently reside now for about 2 full years. We made the move originally from Ohio, actually up north. We've been with LifeVantage for nearly 11 years. It's 11, right? 11, 12? I forget. I'm losing track. We've been
Almost 12.
yeah, almost 12 years actually. So we've been with LifeVantage for just a little bit. But tonight we're going to go ahead and welcome our newest team members that joined us at the tail end of 2023. I'm going to also share with you some highlights and some recognition that the company is sharing as well as for our team. And then we are going to kick it off with our special guest speakers. And so first and foremost, of course, we always want to take the opportunity to welcome our newest team members. As I said, these individuals joined us in December of 2023. So they are kicking off the new year. You have made an incredible decision. We are overjoyed to have you a part of our team, a part of the LifeVantage family. So welcome and congratulations. We have Margaret Chupp, who was enrolled by Velma and Ralph Schwartz. We have Sylvia Lee, enrolled by Ruli Lee. We have Mary Stolfus, enrolled by Daniel S. Miller. We have Raymond Beachy, who is enrolled by Joel and Rachel Brenneman. Irene Pearson, welcome, who is enrolled by Frank Villa. We have Lydia Mell, who is enrolled by Betsy Mell, and Betsy Mell, who is enrolled by Derek French. So look at that, enrolling and then turning around and enrolling right away. I love that. Fast out of the gates. We have Dion Decker, who is enrolled by Mark Zerfas. We have Derek French, who is enrolled by Richard David Pochner, and Lydia Ann Fisher, who is enrolled by Samuel N. Soare. So congratulations to those of you who made the decision. You may not know exactly what you got yourself involved in, but we are thrilled that you are here, and just trust us. Go ahead and grab onto the coattails, and I promise we will lead you to where it is that you want to go.
I think you skipped one, Holly. I'm not sure how you pronounce
Ha
that.
ha ha. I know, I know. We have a new consultant that was enrolled from, was it from China? China.
I think
Um
it's Danny. Yep.
I think it's China, and I obviously they put their name in there in Chinese word, and I can't quite figure that out. So I wasn't even going to bring it up, but yes. So again, welcome to the team. If you haven't already received, please make sure you check out your email. Brian and I do send you an official welcome letter from the team, letting you know different ways that you can start plugging in and how to plug into the system and the different tools available to you. And obviously just giving you a warm welcome. A few LifeVantage highlights that have been shared that you may not have seen. LifeVantage welcomed 41 new executive consultants. That's considered an elite consultant for those of you who may have been around a little while. They launched the Evolve compensation plan across 4 different countries. We actually packaged over 3,500 meals for children, contributed 900 hours to community service, making meaningful donations in Maui. It was wonderful to be a part of all of these. Hosted over 12 global events and united more than 2,100 attendees at our global convention that was in Texas, for those of you who are able to join us. A couple of the highlights. Again, I'm still getting a lot of the data and information and reports, so just bear with me, but I just wanted to let you guys know for Team Legacy, yes, you, members of this team, congratulations. A few highlights. We had 67 individuals qualify for MVP this past year. We had over 300 rank advancements, you guys. You helped this team help over 300 people achieve a new rank and height in their business. So that's just incredible, including our newest, if I could do a little drum roll, our newest senior consultant, Beulah Reynolds. So congratulations, Beulah Reynolds. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Beulah in person during our Legacy Summit that we host in Ohio every year. And she actually came as a guest. She was a driver to one of our leaders, and she just kind of sat there and absorbed all the information. And we didn't really know where it was going to go. I honestly couldn't tell if she had any interest whatsoever. Next thing I know, I'm talking with her out in the lobby. She's enrolling herself instantly in a pack, and she's just been aggressive and enrolling new consultants and customers. And that was only a few months ago. So in a couple months' time, she has achieved senior consultant by simply sharing. She's texting, she's asking questions, and she's just talking. And she's so excited with the results that her and her husband have been seeing with these products. She continues to share with me the progress that they're making from their own health perspective. And it just continues to drive her to want to share it with more people. So congratulations to you, Beulah Reynolds. Our top MVP earners. I wanted to give some shout outs to our top MVP earners. Henry Soire, you earned MVP 12 out of 12 months, as did Mark Zerfas and Velma and Ralph Schwartz. So congratulations to all of you guys, and Stacy Zerfas, who earned MVP 7 out of 12 months. So again, congratulations to everybody who earned the MVP, but I wanted to give some special shout outs to those who were being the most consistent in achieving that MVP earners. And then also, I wanted to take a second to recognize our top 10 enrollers for 2023. So you may have seen some of these names before in some of the other recognition, but a huge shout out to our top enroller, Mark Zerfas, with 139 personal enrollments. Stacy Zerfas, 129. Rich and Tippy Petrus, 77. Frank Villa, 45. Brian and I had 34, looking to hopefully double that at least come 2024 year. Time to play small is over, folks. William Lambert, 27. Sandy Kogligs, 24. Henry Soire, 21. Joel Brenneman, 19. And Sarah Stutzman, 16. So congratulations to all of you. We're extremely overjoyed and proud of each and every one of you for everything it is that you accomplished in the year of 2023. However, I can tell you that we are pumped to see what it is that we can accomplish and rise to new heights here in the new year, right? So some upcoming events, if you haven't already heard, this Saturday, yes, this very Saturday, January 13th, it is the company's first event. This is going to be a virtual event. It is the Rise Global Kickoff of 2024. It will be 90 minutes. That's it. But you have to register for this. It's a free event, but you do need to register if you want to get the link that's going to allow you access to this event. I will tell you, if you have not registered for this event yet, because for whatever reason, you're not going to be able to watch it at the time in which it's going live, which is going to be 10 a.m. Mountain Time and 12 p.m. Eastern, the company has informed me that they will allow access to a replay for 30 days, but you have to be registered. Okay. So again, even if you can't watch it live, I get it. Maybe you have something already pre-scheduled. I understand. However, get yourself registered so that you can still, because I'm telling you, we've had an opportunity to get a sneak peek behind the curtain, if you will, as to the things that are going to be shared with you on Saturday. And you don't want to be trying to play catch up. That's all I'm going to say. You don't want to be playing catch up. So please get registered for that. We do have folks on our team that are having their own watch parties. I know Brian and I are actually having one here in Sarasota, Florida. So for anybody who would like to join us in person, we're going to order some food. We'll have lunch, have some fun. We'll do some training and planning and stuff after the event goes live. Fannie Mae and Ben Byler are also hosting a big event down in Berlin, or not down, up there in Berlin, Ohio. Marlon Graber's in Indiana. Susie and Carol are going to be watching in Alabama. William in North Carolina. The list goes on and on, you guys. So remember, you don't have to watch it alone if you don't want to. However, you certainly can. All you need to do is get yourself registered. So just go to You can either go to hub.lifevantage.com, or you can simply go to your replicated website, scroll down to the bottom, click on events, and get yourself registered. Again, that is a free event. Okay. And I see that our guests are here. So excited. I want to try to get through these announcements with you guys, because I want to leave most of the time for them. So moving on to the next upcoming event. You may not have heard, but the company actually took notice of the amount of enrollments that have been happening up in our Ohio, Pennsylvania market, and reached out and wanted to extend, and I don't want to say olive branch, but they wanted to give us some extra love and support. All right. And so what they're doing is they're actually flying in on their own dime, guest speakers for both January, February, and March. So if you are in or around the Ohio area, even people in Pennsylvania, Indiana, you name it, we're calling it the Rise 2024 Ohio, Pennsylvania events. Is going to be a 90-day run. The first event is going to take place on January 29th. So January 29th, it's a Monday, it's at 6 p.m. And executive leader, Dr. Nancy Bryan. Yes, Dr. Nancy Bryan is going to come. She's going to present the power of activation for you and your guests. This is intended to be an opportunity meeting. This is where you want to invite guests, even bring current customers. I think we forget about our customers. Bring your customers to these events. Let them see the culture. Let them hear other people's stories. And who knows, maybe they never thought about sharing these products with other people, but after hearing these powerful stories and presenters, they may just want to look to join your team and upgrade. So don't sell your customers short. Make sure you're getting everybody there. Come one and come all. Dinner's going to follow afterwards. It's going to be in Middlefield, Ohio. So please get those details. Ben and Fannie Mae and Danny Coons are going to be kicking that off. So just, I promise you, here's your opportunity to show up, right? The company is going to bring people to you and you just have to get butts and seats. So this is your opportunity. Okay. Also, the weekly MC, it's a brand new call that Brian started towards the end of last year. Every Monday, it's just a call that you dial into. There's no Zoom, so you don't have to worry about looking pretty. You just dial into the call, and about 15 to 20 minutes every single Monday when we don't have our team call, Brian's going to go ahead and share with you. He's been sharing stories and testimonies and science and studies, and things that are going on in the industry. It's just a variety of different things, but it's a great way to get your pulse checked when you're starting off a brand new week and staying plugged in and connected with what's going on with us here at LifeVantage. And then make sure you set your calendars as well, even if you can't be to an opportunity event in person. Brian and I are going to be doing an opportunity Zoom on Tuesday, January 23rd. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be the same Zoom that we do for our team meetings. We're keeping it the same as we always have. And you can also dial in and listen for that. So I will tell you, one of the reasons why we made the decision to only do one for the month of January is because, truth be told, the last 3 to 4 months, we've been lucky to get even 5 people on these Zooms. Sadly, there have been several times actually in the last couple months where Brian and I have logged in, and not a single person showed up. So again, we do these because we want to make it easy for you to get people in front of the information. If you're not feeling confident about presenting the information yourself, that's okay, right? You will get there. I promise you. But one, you have to watch other meetings so that you can learn how other people are presenting. And two, you have to be inviting people. Okay. There were a couple of times where the only people that were on were our guests, which we were happy our guests were there. But I just want you guys to know we do these to help support you. All right. So if you want more of these, or maybe if you want one for yourself, if you would like to do a relaunch in the new year, let us know. Message us, email, text us. We will help you do a relaunch in the new year of a personal Zoom for you. And you can invite your own guests and we can make it private. Okay. We are here to help you grow and build your business. So I think that's all that we had for upcoming events, Brian. Yay! This is what I've been waiting for. All right, so excited. You guys, I know some of you have actually asked specifically when I've said to you, if I could get anybody to hop on our team call, who would you ask? This dynamic power couple his name came up almost every single time. They have continued to make waves in the LifeVantage with the LifeVantage family. They never cease to amaze me. Their passion and determination is second to none. We've watched them grow and become the incredible leaders that they are, and grow a massive team and following. We've had the pleasure of being able to experience these incredible incentive trips with them because of their hard work. And I'm just so grateful, honestly, that they were available. I was like, oh, really? I almost didn't want to ask twice whenever they said yes, they could do it. Because once you get your answer the first time, you don't ask again. Okay. That's right. Exactly. I've learned that the hard way. I will not learn that. I'm not going to do it again. So just real briefly, I'm not going to go too deep into their story because I really want to give the time for the two of them to share their story. But Rob and Summer Smollack had fallen in love basically at a wedding rehearsal. It's kind of funny. It's like first comes love, then comes marriage, right? And then came their beautiful daughter, Gabriella. And she is a beautiful sweetheart. We've been able to meet her as well. She's been at the events and the trips and all the things. They really do embark what it means to make this a family venture. And I love that. They've been with LifeVantage now for 7 years. So they're not new on the block, people. I'm telling you, they know what they're doing. All right. They have both an executive consultant 1 and 2 position in their business. That is incredible. I don't know that. I mean, we know how difficult it is to build one business center. These individuals have been able to build 2 executive business centers, which is phenomenal. Not to mention they are diamond sellers. This means that they have more than 4,000 in personal customer enrollments themselves that are ordering. That is phenomenal. Talk about building stability and retention into your business. They were both gold MVP and silver MVPs multiple times, even in the last month in December. They accomplished all of these feats. And so when people say, oh, it's the holidays, no, I'm telling you, people are still working, people are still buying, things are still happening. So without any further ado, I would love to thank and welcome Rob and Summer Smollack. The stage is yours, you guys.
Thank you, Holly. Go ahead, babe.
No, go ahead.
God, yeah, you guys, we've watched Holly and Brian when we first got involved. You like to see people like, oh, we want to be just like them. And that was me in Summer. We got in this thing, I think 7 years ago. You guys, I came from I was in medicine for 10 years. Most people in my family don't even know that. I hated it. I felt like I was always treating the symptom and never the cause. I would get physically ill sometimes when I'd show up to the emergency room to go to work. I worked for the FBI for 3 years, hated that, worst job I ever had. I ran the medical department at state prison right out of college. I was in a riot in 91. I watched 5 people get murdered right before my eyes. Inmates protected me, actually. The inmates kind of protected me. And so I've struggled with PTSD a lot during my life. My oldest son died in my arms 12 years ago. I held him when he took his last breath. I was paralyzed. I got hit by a car in Sacramento, California. I was paralyzed for 4 months. I got 6 rods holding my spine together. I was divorced after 19 years of marriage. You guys, I've had 30 companies in 25 years and I've sold 29 of them. I did really well financially. I was successful because I had nothing growing up. I came from nothing. Like we were some of the poorest families in town. I started wrestling when I was very young because the local police department told my mom, and I was adopted. So I told my mom that if I didn't do something, I was going to end up in juvenile hall or prison because I fought every day because people would tease me, right? Because some of you guys are old enough. Remember Garanimals? You remember the Garanimals, Holly, Brian? You guys remember Garanimals? Yeah, that was me. My mom would get Garanimal hand-me-downs from neighbors, and that's what I would wear, like the green crocodile shirt and the green crocodile pants. And so you can see, well, that's why I fought all the time, because people teased me, and I would just punch somebody in the face than to run away. And that's just who I was. And so I tell people all the time, like, I created my wealth with a chip on my shoulder. I'm not saying that was good, but I did. I wanted to prove people wrong. I wanted to prove people to say that, you know what, you'll never amount to anything. You're poor, you're this, you're that. And I said, I'll show you, right? I'll show you. That the song by Toby Keith, How Do You Like Me Now? Oh man, I want to sing that a lot of times when I go to my class reunion, And so I saw this 7 years ago, about a month and a half before I met Summer. And I had a doctor in Montana approach me. Now I knew who he was, but can you imagine losing your son, being divorced after 19 years, and being paralyzed and learning how to walk again when I met this doctor? So I was a very angry, bitter, hateful person. I had over 400 employees and 11 companies and a TV show when I got involved in this business. And I didn't like anybody. I didn't like myself. And so when this doctor approached me with this, he said, Rob, I'd love to have you as a business partner. At first I thought, how the heck do you know who I am? Right. But I knew his daughter, and his daughter told him where I was going to be. And so he actually met me on a riverbank. He came up on the river on a horse, and he got off his horse and he started walking towards me. And I'm thinking, man, I hope I didn't upset this guy, because he's a big guy. He was a big guy. And I thought, I'm going to have to throw the first punch here. And he did. When he said that, I said, what do you got? And he goes, well, I got a product on PubMed that might interest you. Now, he was in charge of continuing education for every doctor in the state of Montana that practiced in the same scope that he did. He held that position for over 20 years. And his practice was in the top 1% in the United States. So I knew who he was, but I did not personally know him. So the only thing he had was credibility. That is the only reason I listened to him, because I didn't like him. I didn't like anybody. And so he started sharing a lot of science with me, but he said leveraged income. And, at that time, I was buying and investing. I was doing all kinds. I had so many hamster wheels going, because I just wanted to stay busy, because when I wasn't busy, I would beat myself up mentally. Like, how could I have been a better husband? How could I have been a better father? How could I get, I'd always beat myself up, right? I was always second guessing myself, because I thought, dang, because we've literally failed ourselves to financial freedom, guys. I'm just going to be honest. We didn't do anything perfect. I was never really great at anything. And Summer will tell you that. I thought Summer achieved a lot more things than I did. And she's going to be very humble with what she says, but it was just right. And so I got involved. And about a month and a half later, my national sales manager for my clothing company was getting married in Bozeman, Montana, and I was asked to be a groomsman in the wedding. Well, I show up at the rehearsal dinner, and Summer walks in with all the bridesmaids dressed to kill. I'm wearing an Under Armour shirt, and I think a ball cap on backwards, like, professional Rob, and at a rehearsal dinner. And she walks in dressed to kill, and I looked at the guy getting married. I'm like, who the hell is that? And he goes, oh, that's Summer. I go, that's Summer McCain. Like, I heard a lot about her. She was a big time. She was a sponsored skier, like a pretty big skier. And she got an injury that destroyed her career, and she can tell you about that. But I was like, wow. But I figured she was married or dating. And so when she walked into this place, she walked right over to me and gave me a hug. And you guys know my wife hugs everybody, for you guys that know her. And I thought that was kind of weird, because I was an angry, bitter person. Like, why the hell would you hug me? And she hugged me and said, hi, I'm Summer, but I got to pee. And she shoved me out of the way and went in the bathroom, because I was standing in front of the bathroom. So she just pushed me out of the way. And that's when I looked at the guy like, who the heck was that? Because I just loved her energy. I felt it when she just gave me the hug. I felt the energy. And then my phone vibrates, and I take my phone out of my pocket and I look at it, and it's the girl getting married. Rob, are you open to dating? I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Please tell me the blonde wants to know, because Summer was the only blonde. And she goes, yeah, Summer's on the toilet peeing right now, and she wants to know who the guy in the Under Armour shirt is. And I looked at all the groomsmen who were half my age, all good looking guys, like half my age. And I looked, and I was looking for Under Armour. I didn't say anything. And I kind of glanced down. And I went, oh my God, it's me. I got Under Armour going right across my chest. And so, like, I wanted to do the Irish River dance, but I didn't. Like Brian, right? I'm a guy, like a little bit of an ego. I'm like, I'm not going to show her that I'm excited. That she comes right out of the bathroom, and she walks up to me and she says, I don't have time for you. And she walked off. I'm like, what? But I knew she didn't know that her friend texted me saying, who's the guy in the Under Armour shirt? So I thought, oh, we're going to play that game for a couple of days. And so I literally, if she stopped, I bumped into her. Like, she was wearing a brace on her wrist from her injury that happened years prior, because she was still getting physical therapy on it. Like, it destroyed her career. She couldn't hardly use her wrist. But we hung out for 2 days. And the night of the wedding, I'm going to let her tell that story, because if I tell it, she'll clean it up. No. And so the night of the wedding, they got married in the outdoors. It was up by a mountain lake outside of Bozeman. It was in June, guys. So the ice just came off the lake. So I can set the scene here a little bit. And you guys, honestly, when we're telling our story here, when we present this opportunity, we just tell a story. That's all we do, is tell a story. And so we were sitting around the bonfire with about 80 people. They all have cell phones, right?
I can't believe he's telling you this.
And it was about midnight at night. It was about midnight. Bonfire, big bonfire, right? Big bonfire. And we just kind of were sitting on a log next to each other, and everybody there, they knew that we had both been through hell and back in our life. And they were like, they wanted us to just like date so bad, and we almost felt kind of pressured from some of the people. And we just kind of looked at each other and we kissed for the first time. And I thought, wow, and And then she got up and she kind of walked away and she went down by the lake. And the lake was about
Okay, we don't have to continue.
30 yards, like 30 yards. So if you're Christian, plug your ears,
Sorry,
because we're
this is
Christian
totally
too.
appropriate right
Yeah,
now.
so
Holly,
she
Ryan, are you
literally-
sure you wanted to
She
have us-
literally,
Let's
she
go.
walks down by the lake and it's literally, I could see the lake. It's like right there, literally only about 30 yards away, guys. And she goes down, she goes, let's jump in the lake. It was June, the ice just came off. And I'm thinking, God, I want to impress this chick. And the only thing I could think of is Seinfeld, right? Maybe Brian knows what I'm talking about. And she goes, let's just jump.
Twinkies, right?
Yeah, right. She goes, let's jump in. And I go, what do you mean jump in? She goes, let's like, I go, skinny dip? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, no, it's June. The ice just came off. Like, there's no way I'm getting in the water with you. Well, she takes off her clothes and she starts walking out in the lake. And I'm like, what the heck? And she gets out there and she turns around and she looks at me and she says, are you going to get in? I'm like, no. And she goes, sissy, oh, in front of 80 people. And so I was like, oh my God. So there I go, and I walked out on the water with her. We kiss and I turn around and I see 80 cell phones with lights on. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that's going to go viral. I've got a company, I've got 400 some employees. I got 2 other sons, right? Like people are going to see this. And we get out of the water. I couldn't find my underwear. To this day, I couldn't find my underwear. I couldn't find my t-shirt. And I lost my cell phone for a day. So I had to find my cell phone. And so we ended up with a bunch of friends. We slept in campers and tents and everything. And that was our first official date. We kissed, our official date. And from that point, honestly, we've never been apart. We've never been apart. And so I'm going to kind of let Summer kind of clean it up a little.
For the record, I was not going to share that part of the story.
But we're so happy you did.
We're real, people. We're real.
This is the greatest man in the world, just to be clear. But the coolest part is I want to say, and I can't remember, was it the Mediterranean cruise that we
Yeah,
met?
we'd been in 2 months and we got an email saying, congratulations, you won a trip. We were in 2 months, not even 2 months, like maybe a month and a half.
We thought it was
And I thought it was a scam when I got the email. I literally called Life Image and I go, hey, I got this email. I know it's bull, but blah, blah, blah. You guys better be careful because you're getting hacked. And they go, no, you won. And so I gave them my ID number and she pulls it up on the queue and she goes, yeah, you got 207 points. They go, how many points did you need? She goes, 200. I go, so we barely made it, but we made it because we didn't even know there was anything. Our upline didn't tell us anything, guys.
We don't have enough.
We had no clue. We don't have. We've got 4 Pro 10s in our upline, but they've never helped us do anything. Like if I call them for a question, maybe like one of them will respond and say, hey, but we really never had any help. So I think it was good for us. So it taught us how to be leaders and how to figure it out on our own a little bit, made us stronger. But that's kind of where we were, when we got involved in this. But yeah, that email kind of set the pace.
Well, but so anyway, the reason why I said that is because that is where, okay, you guys, this is really creepy, but it's really cool all at the same time. Is that, so we're on the boat and we walk by and we're like, oh, that's Brian and Holly.
Yeah, I remember that. They're Pro 8s. Like,
oh my God,
we
are
were
you
pro-
kidding me?
We were a Pro 3. Like I was going to go up.
We walked past them like we were cool. Like we were,
Yeah,
we were
Pro
like,
3,
yeah,
like,
don't
oh my-
worry that we're staring at you like in shock and awe because of who you guys are. And now to have an honor to even jump on this call with you guys is really, it's a big deal to us. So thank you. Thank you for the example that you guys have set. Thank you for everything that you've done for this company and this industry. It's really amazing. So thank you. So it's pretty cool, you guys. And guess what? They're just regular, normal people, way cooler than we are. Anyway,
I don't know. We don't have a cool story like Rob's story
You know,
when Holly and I met, but
oh my
I
gosh.
kind of wish we did.
I get mortified when I tell that story. Like,
I can't even, so he's going to keep going.
No.
go ahead.
But you guys, when I met Rob, and the part about the story that is pretty significant is, yeah, I called him a sissy and all that type of stuff, but I had such a wall up for people and I was so burnt out in what I was doing that, and like Rob had mentioned, I had competitively skied and there's other things that I have done in my life, kind of along those same lines. But when I've been working since I was 12 years old and I was told that I would now amount to nothing my whole entire life, you have 2 choices in your life. You can overcome or you can succumb. to what are the lies that have been told to you at whatever stage of your life. There are people that have come in your life that have impacted you in a very negative way. And that's where a lot of people stay. Well, like I had two choices and I have no idea where this even came up or how I was able to overcome a lot of this, but I took the route of, I don't think this is true. Just watch me, because the people that were telling me, I didn't have a lot of respect for them, even though I was younger, because I just watched how they treated other people. And I watched how people's feelings would be when they would walk out of a room. And there was something that triggered in me that said, absolutely not am I going to do that. So watch me. And I'm going to go blood, sweat, and tears to figure out how to overcome all of these things and to prove not only to them, which the greatest form of freedom was when you stop worrying about what other people think about you, but I had to prove to myself that I could do it too. And so when I met Rob, I'm divorced, I've lost all my friends, and I have no children at 37 years old. Why? Because I came across a medical device position. So I went from a environment of surviving. I don't want to survive anymore. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. I don't want to take a pound of hamburger. This is how I grew up, a pound of hamburger and make it last 4 meals. I'm not telling you that this is bad. I just want to be able to have choices in my life. And I just never felt like there was things I wanted to do, but I could not stand the saying of I can't afford it. What life is so much more than just go pay bills and die. Go get a job, work for somebody else, pay bills and die. There's so much more to life than that. And I wanted to experience all of those things. So I came across a medical device rep position where, living in Montana, I'm making well over a 6-figure income. Well over a 6-figure income. But guess what? I compromised everything that was important to me. So the question you should all ask yourself is, what's the most important thing to you? And then take a look at your life and see if you were living your life on what the most important thing to you. And I would tell you it was my family. So I am the biggest hypocrite I've ever met in my life, because now I'm working 80, 90 hours a week, traveling 4 states, gone from my family, and I'm burnt out. I cannot keep chasing the dollar as much as and for the record, I have a dog. I have who's barking outside. She'll be 6 at the end of January. So if one of us keeps getting up, you know what? We fit this into our life. We fit this into our life. So we just continue to live our life. I've done meetings in my bathroom. I've done meetings in my bathrobe in the garage, towel on my head. Because you know what, guys, now, and here's a lesson that you should know. I know my worth. Do you know yours? Start realizing how valuable and important you are. So if I show up in my bathrobe in the garage, and that's how you get me, I can change your life if you let me. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a perfect thing. Now, it hasn't always been like that, okay? So, but just please know your worth, because you're all so valuable and you all have gifts that we don't. And so anyway, fast forward to being absolutely burnt out, but craving, wanting something, on my hands and knees, hoping, wishing, wanting, praying that something comes into my life. And here comes the greatest man in the world. I mean, seriously, who meets in front of the bathroom? Yep, that's us. And he shared this with me after I almost got laid off. And within a 12-hour period, I almost lost everything. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. And I almost got laid off, and that scared me. And then this jerk over here, who I adore, says, well, how's that looking for a job thing going for you? We are both very control freak number 1, met control freak number 2, and then they had a child, and you're welcome. And so here, but I had to be in my career. That was just all there is to it. I was in the top of my company for a decade, and it was like a reality check. So he sat down with me and said, watch this ABC primetime. You guys, it blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. And we went to work. But we treated this seriously. Did we have anything? I threw my credit card at Rob because we were just dating. I threw my credit card at him. I said, I'm in. I don't know what I'm in. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm in. Like, you're telling me we could be together, have a family, and create a legacy. And to have make a significant impact in people's lives. This is the most purposeful, fulfilling, inspiring thing that I've ever done in my entire life. It happens to be the most important thing that I have ever done. Is if we continue to show up, it doesn't matter how we show up, as long as we are showing up for people each and every day, we share the whole story with them, we give them options, we let them choose on how we can help. Everybody needs these products in their mouth and on their body, but you know what? Is how they get them is where the magic happens. So they make those choices. We have integrity. We're intentional with our time. We stretch every day. Do you think you can't just stay the same and expect things, magic to happen for you? You have to grow. You have to grow, and you have to stay consistent. You can't just show up once a week or once a month. Or we showed up, I'm working 80, 90 hours a week. He's working 100 hours a week. I'd pick up the phone, or I'd be sitting in the toilet going to the bathroom. Apparently a lot of things awesome happen in the bathroom. And I'd pick up the phone and go, I'm busy right now, but I'm really excited. We got to get together. 10 seconds. Set a time, and then I sit down and we tell them why we're doing this, about the company, how you get paid, give them options, let them choose the most amazing gift that we're handing to them on a silver platter. But apparently not everybody wants to be helped. Not everybody wants to be helped. So I can't force people. I can't push a rope. And then with the blood, sweat, and tears, 22 months later, I walked away from my job. Gabriella was born. But you guys, this was like we were sharing this 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Yeah, we didn't play games. I remember
We did not play games with
we
this.
had broke 2 elite positions about 2 years ago. We did 392 presentations that month.
We're not telling you that you have to
Just
do it.
us.
That was just what we did.
That was like over 10 a day, but there was 2 of us, right? She'd do 5 or 6, I do 5 or 6, but we had a team in place. Like we had a team in place that we were helping. They were validations and everybody's jumping on. And we only do that about 2 times a year where we feel the pulse of our group and like, okay, they're ready to go. Right. And so we do a big Zoom. Like last night we did a Zoom. We had about 140 people on our Zoom call with our group on it every Sunday night. And so it's 2024, kind of like what Holly and Brian are doing here. We said, okay, guys, it's 2024. We're ready. You guys ready to go? Because we could feel the pulse. We could feel the momentum going through November and December. All right, guys, you know what this means. A lot of you guys are going to rank advance. Who's going to jump on the train right now? If you don't want to jump on, that's okay. We still love you. We're there for you. But we want, if you're ready to jump and go, we're going for a ride. And it's going to be about a 60 to 90 day ride. And we don't accept excuses. Never come to us about, I don't have any money. I don't have any time. I don't know any, none of that. We don't accept it, because if we accept it, we hurt you. Right? We hurt you. Because I had no heart, guys, when I got involved in this. My heart was ripped out of my chest. I didn't like people, didn't trust people, didn't want to be around people. I don't even know why she liked me, because I was such an angry, bitter person.
Well, maybe
this is what fixed me, guys. This beautiful little blonde in this company fixed me. And I remember 22 months when our daughter was born into this, and Summer retired at the age of 39. And at about a 5 to 6 month span, I sold 10 of my 11 companies and quit my TV show. We made that commitment at that point, because we said, once we figure out how to do this dang thing, we're just going to continue for the rest of our lives to pay it forward. We're not going to be like some of the top earners that get to a certain position and you just don't see them anymore. That's never us. We will keep helping people till they throw the dirt on us, because we feel like we owe that back. Because we literally have the most amazing life. We're so truly blessed, but we never played games with this. When Summer's birthday,
don't play games with your future.
Literally Summer's birthday, I said, what would you like for your birthday? I was like, oh, I was hoping materialistic, like a car or a truck or something. She goes, I'd really love to have a child. I was 51 the day that conversation happened. My youngest son was 22. I'm like,
don't laugh.
Oh my God. Like, oh, I'm starting over here. I'm really starting over. But I said, all right, let's go for it. You know, so we had to go through IVF. We had less than a 1% chance it was going to work. And we were blessed with our little girl. But this is the deal we made. If we're blessed to have a child, we got to get this thing to the point where we said, you got to retire, Summer, and I'll sell my companies and we'll raise this child together. Because I didn't raise my sons. My ex-wife raised my kids. I was never home, ever. I was gone 9 months out of the year. I was in Asia for 2 or 3 months when manufacturing with some of my companies. I had a TV show, so I was traveling the world doing my TV. I was never home. I created a lifestyle for my family that I couldn't even participate in, and it destroyed my life. So she gave me the chance to be that husband that I always wanted to be, and the father that I always knew I could be. And I take that very seriously. And so when people join our group, our tribe, We lock arms with them. Everybody. We could tell you we had 12,000 some people in our group. We can tell you every person's name, every person's birthday, because we stay in control of our business. And we teach by doing with them. We don't tell them. We grab arms and walk them through the steps that we do. For you guys that know Candy, she was the first silver in the world. Candy, when we met Candy, we did every meeting for her. There was 28 meetings that were done for her in 2 weeks. And mostly Summer and Candy did them. Candy was terrified. She almost passed out the first phone call she made. Her lips turned blue. Summer had to catch her. That's how scared she was. Now she's a monster. She's a monster in this industry, guys. She came from not being a leader to being one of the best leaders in this company. Like it's amazing the transformation we've seen. She retired 10 months into this business at the age of 37. Walked away from as a registered nurse for the state of Montana, walked away and retired 10 months. And she, like I said, she's a monster. You got 2 people from corporate going to Helena, Montana this weekend, and Summer's flying up for the virtual because they're having a watch party, and it was standing room only in that room. And 2 people from corporate are going. And a lot of that has to do, that Montana group, unification, guys, is so important. You guys see our groups running around with the same t-shirts everywhere. This is one thing we learned very early in this business, is that if people are having fun and they feel appreciated and they feel like they're a part of something, they'll stick around forever, even if they're not making any money. But if they're not making any money and they're not having any fun, bye-bye. They're gone. And so we make it fun. We do so many things. Like somebody's got a page of stuff, kind of like what Holly just did. What Holly just did was way more organized than me in Summer. I was like, holy crap, Holly, that's amazing.
Beautiful.
That would be like, holy, like people are like, Rob, what does that say? Like, I can't even write worth of crap.
Like,
People,
here's the paper.
yeah, point, click, or color in numbers when we do it, that kind of. But it's important. That recognition is so important. We have an MVP belt every month. Somebody in our group mails it to the next person, and we're like, who gets the belt this month? And it's MVP. It's kind of like this Life Vantage Elite VIP belt that we do at the group that we belong to. Like me and Summer won it every month. Every month we were voted to win it. And so we've got that. So we started doing it with our group. And it is huge. It is so huge, that little bit of recognition. And they take a picture with the WWE, wrestling belt on that we converted over to a Life Vantage belt. And it means so much to them. It means so much to them. So that recognition that Holly did before this is it's huge. But it's time you guys take action. Right? It's literally time that you say, you know what? Enough is enough. You can't have any excuses. You can't say we don't have any help. We had no help. Zero. You can't say that. You can't say, well, you ever get this? Well, they want to try the product first. Let me guess, ProTandem. ProTandem's an amazing product, guys, but it's one of the lowest volume products we have. So if I'm running a business, man, I would be pushing the Tri-Synergizer, the hair care, like something that's 2 to 3 times more volume if I'm running a business. Like, we love ProTandem. That's the one question I hate all the time when people say, oh, they want to try the product first. Let me guess, ProTandem. Not saying, not even the collagen. Like, we push collagen like crazy. Collagen really elevated our group big time last 3 or 4 months. But here's a disclaimer, guys. We never had one customer in Life Vantage for 7 years. 0 customers. And I was with Brian in November when they announced the new comp plan. Me and Brian were kind of hanging out. And I was like, holy shit, like we don't have any customers, but this comp plan, they're going to pay for customers. I mean, some were like, oh my God, we got to go teach our group how to do customers now. We just freaking, you in or out next. And so we didn't break any diamonds in our group. And like, we got to go diamond because we never taught it. And so we went diamond to teach our group that you can do it. If Rob and Summer could do it, for God's sake, you can do it. And so, we had a lot of sapphires break. And so they're getting there because you have to lead by example. You have to lead by example. They will follow you if you're leading by example. If you're talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk, your lack of action is going to expose you. And I called out a Pro 10 at a meeting one time, and I told him, your lack of action is going to expose you and people will quit following you. That's exactly what happened to that guy. Exactly what happened. So if you want to be a leader, you got to lead by example. I don't even care if you're a Pro 1 or 2 or MC2, SC2. I'm still learning the numbers, guys. But if you want to be there, you have to lead by example, because if you're walking the walk, they'll follow you. People will follow you. That fear of missing out is so huge. And if you set that example and you're having fun and you appreciate them and you love on them and you're there for them, they will follow you forever. And that's the culture that we've created inside our group. You know, we got to jump on another call here shortly. I'll let Summer end this, but we do a presentation every Monday night, guys. We're the top enrollers in this company for the last 3 years, the top enrolling group. And I don't think we're tearing up any, you know, we're 3/4 of every elite pack enrolled in this company every month comes from our group, because that's what we've always taught, right? We didn't know customer stuff, but now we're teaching that, and that's kind of helped us too because of the new comp plan, because we're actually getting paid now for customers. But a consultant that has a dream or a goal will never get off an auto ship. Customers come and go all the time. They come and go all the time. But a consultant with a dream and a goal will never get off an auto ship. They never will. We've never seen it happen ever in 7 years. But we've seen customers drop off all the time. Even if they're dead fast and addicted, we love the product more than anything. Something comes up in their life where they have to make an emergency payment, or emergency money thing comes up, or a rent or something, and they get off auto ship. Very rarely do they ever get back on auto ship. Very rarely do they ever get back on. So we always thought, okay, if we spend all that time and that money and all that sharing and caring for these people, and then they get off, we need to spend more time with our groups, loving and caring on them and teaching them to duplicate what we do, but letting them lead too. We did every meeting for Candy for the first 2 weeks. We have not done one meeting for her, and she's been in 4 years. We have not done one meeting for her. Now we'll jump on for a 5-minute validation call almost every time, me or Summer, just to say hi. And when we validate, we just get on to make a friend. Because Candy's saying everything we're saying, so we don't repeat it. We just get on to make a friend so they're comfortable with us. And so maybe just that will relate a little bit better to them than Candy. That's it. It's just psychological. I believe about 95% of this business is psychological and 5% is mechanics. You'll hear different numbers, but what we've seen over 7 years, it is so psychological. I know Brian and Holly know that because they've been in this. I mean, they're icons in this industry, in this business, and so they understand that too. And so we're here just to tell you our goofy story and just say, you know what, you can do this. We've got a Pro 5 or an MC2. When we met him, the day we met him, he just got out of prison for the 3rd time. He'd been out a month, tattoos all over. When I met him, I said, when did you get out? He was so embarrassed because I ran the medical department of prison he was in. I recognized the tattoo. I know the guy that put that tattoo on him. He's a lifer. He was embarrassed. I said, I don't care where you came from. I just care where you want to go. Did you know in 2 years, he was making about $3,000 a month in this business. He was living in his car the day we met him. He's managing one of the largest car dealerships in Montana right now. And we were at a house that he just got on 8 acres outside of Helena, Montana, about a year ago. All that happened in 2 years of his life. He would take a bullet for us. His son, who's 6, and our daughters, who's 5, are some of the best friends. And this guy, he would introduce me as a Fed, because I was with the FBI for 3 years. He would literally introduce me as a Fed, and he was a convict, and it was funny for about a month. And I said, that's not you anymore, Matt. That's not you anymore. Change that story. And so he did. Another gal that's been in the top 20 enrollers in this company the last 3 weeks, when we met her, she was living in her car. Patricia Rickard, go look on the top 20 every week. Patricia Rickard, she was living in her car the day we met her. Now, there are people that won't bother with people like that, wouldn't waste their time with people like that, but we love that. We love taking people that have been beaten in the guts, been kicked around, said they never amount to anything, because man, when you empower people like that and they get to believe in themselves, their story is way more powerful than mine and Summers or Holly's or Brian's ever will be. And people can follow that because they can relate to everybody because all the crap they've gone through their life. And when they start to believe in themselves, they are so freaking powerful. We love that. I think we could be 10 times bigger in this industry because we spend so much time and our money helping people that had nothing. That's our biggest reward. We don't need the money, guys. We have over 40 streams of income coming in every month with all of our investments, everything we've done. We could walk away from this right now and be perfectly fine, but we wouldn't be, because we do what we do because we love people and we love to help people. You know, to see Sarah on stage at that convention speaking, like me and Summer were bawling. Like we were in the audience just bawling because we saw Sarah, like we know Sarah. It was so cool to see her up on that stage. You know, it was just awesome to see. You know, because we know what she probably dealt with. Like, I know Brian and Holly know way more, but we know, and Sarah laid it all out on the table on stage. I think she crushed it. I think she absolutely blew everybody away on stage that was on there. And I think there were some people on stage that thought that they were going to be, Sarah dominated it, absolutely dominated it. And so lock arms together, guys. Be there for each other, encourage each other. right? And just keep it basic and keep it simple. There's new incentives that they're launching and stuff like that. Just always never build your business off of incentive. Never, just stick to the basics and just keep pushing forward. And you'll have everything that you want. But your belief has to be there. Your enrollment rate will go up so much when your belief is better. And that's by going to trainings, going to conventions, and jumping on calls like this. Go ahead, baby. Finish her off.
Because when your belief is bigger, you're going to take more action. And when you take more action, the results are going to show up. And I'm so proud of Brian and Holly to see them on the leaderboard, how you had your name on there.
Yeah.
I hope you guys paid attention because they're out there leading by example.
That was the one thing I was looking for when Holly posted it. I got, okay, these guys just talkers or they're walkers. And when I seen that they were in the top 5 pretty much in their entire organization, that tells me that they're out there doing the do. I would follow people like that.
Yeah, high five, guys. That's so
I would
awesome.
follow people like that.
Celebrate you guys. It's bigger than the products, and this is so much bigger than the company itself, you guys. It's truly bigger than we are as people. It really, really is. The goal when I started this, I looked at Rob and I have all my notes from everything at the very, very beginning. And I said, I never want anybody to feel like they're a number, because we're growing up in a society right now where everybody is just a number. They feel that way. They think that way. Enough is enough. The buck stops here, you guys. The changes that you want to make in your life, make a decision that you can change it. You can do the things that you really want to do. But the question is to you, why are you doing this? Because it has to drive you. If it wasn't, yeah, okay, I want to help people. Great. Why? Because when the going gets tough and you have choices between, are you going to share LifeVantage or are you going to go back to what's most comfortable? Then you have to have something, a burning desire and want on what you want. And I would be crying in my car. I cried every day for like 2 years. I'm not even like, because this was hard. We'll never tell you it's easy, but it's simple. Keep it simple. And I'm my own worst enemy. And so I looked in there. I was like, I will never be a mom. I have to make another phone call. I will never be a mom if I don't make that phone call. What if? LifeVantage isn't a household name yet, but we will be. LifeVantage is not a $1 billion company yet, but we will be. Don't miss out on that. This is the greatest opportunity that's going to come into our life to help people heal on all aspects of their life. You are important. You are important. You're a pivotal piece of this puzzle. Any doubt you have in your mind, enough is enough. We're on to 2024. That was so 2023. Leave those doubts and fears behind, because this is your year. It is your time for you to make the impact in your life and other people's lives that you've always dreamed about, or create a life that you want to live. You have the power to do that. Brian and Holly are leading by example, but if they're in your way, get them out of the way. I'm being real. Run them over. This is your life. This isn't anybody else's life.
That's what Tyler Daniels.
I would love that. I would love for somebody to run us over.
Tyler told me in summer last week. Tyler had us come up to his house for a whole day one day, and he goes, "Listen, guys, I've abandoned you guys for about 5 years." Well, we didn't really know Tyler that much, or none of them really. Like Marcel would go there for questions.
We've been abandoned the whole entire time.
Yeah.
It doesn't freaking matter.
But Tyler has come up with him and
a family.
Sasha.
We wanted to be able to do this.
Tyler's like, I want you guys to plow through me, plow through Marcel, plow through Blue, plow through Mark, plow through that. We can't help you guys. You guys are so freaking above and beyond the knowledge of the relationship that you're building. Just plow through all of us and go get to the top of this damn company. If you need us to answer questions, we'll be there. But if we're in your way, shove us out of the way. Like, take control of your business. And he said, you guys have done that, but I want you even to 10x that. Like, just literally push us out of the way and just go do what you need to do.
And I know that we can be too much for some, but not enough for others. So I don't really care about that. And you shouldn't either. But here's what, if you guys could see what we see and know what we know, and the lives that have been changed and impacted, you would act exactly the same way that we do. Because this is the most important thing that we've ever done in our life, to watch these people's lives change. And if we played this much of a role in that for them, that is the greatest thing that we could ever do for people. Start taking the focus off of you and put it on other people. Put it on other people. We love you. We are just so proud of what you guys have accomplished today, but let's look into the future on what the impact that you can make. Like I said, you are important. What you're doing is important. So please treat this like that. We love you. We value you. We appreciate you. It's your turn. Let's go get it, guys.
For you guys in Ohio, we will be out there in February. The company is flying us to Ohio in February, so we will be the ones in February. So we'll be out there. Look, come up, give us a hug, high
That's
five.
awesome.
Whatever.
If
Not
I
gonna-
don't hug you first.
You
and if you're
heard
not
it here
first,
first.
yeah.
I did not even know that for sure. I heard rumors, but it wasn't solidified. So that is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, they've
Thank
been
you so
calling
much.
us. Hey, love you guys.
We love you
Appreciate you
guys.
guys
We
so
gotta
much.
jump off.
We got to
Thank
Zoom. We
you.
got to jump on.
Yep,
Love
we
you.
got
Thank
another
you,
one
guys.
too. So thank you
Bye,
so
guys.
much. Love you. Mwah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, you guys, we literally have another call with Dr. Skip and Jill Campbell. They said they have some big announcements. I'll be honest, I don't even know what these announcements are. They just said are calling them big announcements. They're starting at 9 in 3 minutes. And I really don't want to steal any of Rob and Summer's thunder. I think that they said everything beautifully, eloquently. I've always loved their passion, the energy. I hope that you took something of what they shared. I actually took notes. I believe it or not, I took notes. They said so many different little valuable nuggets and things through sharing their stories and experiences in their heart. So thank you so much for being on this call. I greatly appreciate it, but I am going to let everybody go. And if you can hop on the Campbell's call coming up here in 2 minutes, that would be awesome. So hopefully we'll get to see some of your beautiful faces again. But have yourselves a great week, you guys. Take care. We love you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.